video, I'm going to show you how I built the semi-DIY range hood using a prefabricated kit from Archways and Ceilings. If you're new here, I'm Lena and welcome to Flipping Work. The first thing I did was remove the existing cabinets in the old range hood so that we could make way for the new frame. After researching several ways to build the frame, I came across this company, Archways and Ceilings, that will make a custom frame for you that gets put together like a puzzle. It's amazing. I've linked their information below in the show notes. So for this project, I called in some backup, which is my dad, the one who has taught me a lot about DIY, and we love doing projects together. It's how we bond. And so the first thing we did was start to measure the placement of the frame. I had provided Archways and Ceilings with the specific dimensions and how we need to build it around the actual exhaust, and they gave me this step-by-step guide for putting it together. So now it was time to put the puzzle piece together, and you'll see these are all pre-cut and they interlock and they just snap in together, and then we screw them down. So this first piece we decided we just start tracing just to make sure we have the placement of everything correctly, because while all the big cuts are made, there are some tiny cuts that need to be made on site. You'll see where the electrical cord needs to be drilled into the actual frame. So this is something we had to do on site. So again, just getting all of our placement right. This was the prep work, making sure we were in the studs, and then you'll see that I'm trying to make sure I work around this electrical outlet perfectly. So again here, just taking our time to outline all the pieces to make sure that we have it in place perfectly. We wanted to make sure that once we secured it in the wall, we were only having to do it one time to get it in the perfect location so that everything lined up. The thought of building this thing from scratch was really intimidating, so having these pre-cut pieces made the process so much easier. Drilling a hole for the electrical source to come through was the only adjustment that I had to make on site. During the design process, Archways and Ceilings takes into account all the dimensions. They also build it around the vent hood that you will be using. So they were very helpful in suggesting various models, and then again guiding me on which one that I should choose based on the sizing of this piece. Now that we had identified where all of our studs were and had the placement, we got started on putting together the puzzle piece. The guide provided also shows you the exact placement of the screws and how many of each that you need. Before we inserted the construction screws, we drilled a pilot hole just so that it could go in more easily. We did this just using a drill bit, but again, I needed a little man strength because these pieces of wood are made of actually layers and layers of fused wood, and they're quite thick. This range hood was designed to go all the way to the top of our ceiling, so we had to cut out a piece of the existing trim so that it would fit. We did this just using a little Dremel tool, and it was fairly easy, and we just decided to pop that off rather than taking the full big piece off. We had the first few pieces put together per the guide and went ahead and secured this into the wall, again using construction screws. It tells you exactly where to place the screws into the ceiling, into the wall, so again that it's super secure and there is no chance of it coming out. And now was the moment of truth. Did I measure my on-site cut perfectly? And I nailed it! We fished it right through the hole and then secured that piece to the back. So the way that they instruct you to assemble this is in different sections. So then it was time to move on to the bottom portion of the frame. All right. Now, here's something to consider. I think, yeah, that's going to be perfect. We can just go through.
All right, Lena.
Yep, so we got to step.
No, just bring the drill. Just
Oh, you're ready to just drill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it level? It's got to be
right here, Lena. You put one right here. Where my finger is, Lena? Yeah, so here's the stud right here.
Okay.
Put a hole right there. You ready?
How about you?
No, over here.
Just one in the middle?
Right in the center, right there.
Yep.
Yep. So they just drill in there
Yeah.
and there.
So you just angle it in?
So nail it in.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get the top one first. Let me get, oh, they're pre-drilled already?
No, that's for the side.
No,
Oh,
it's
wait, do we
looking
need
up
to
there.
flip this? No, this is on the right side. It can't be any other way, correct?
I would think.
Yeah, they're all the same. Okay, so I need to run one here and run one up there.
Okay, what I would do is
Should I do the inside ones first?
do the top one first.
Okay, can you hand me?
Hang on, let me,
That's gonna add the curve. Got it?
yep. Is that going straight?
Yeah,
in?
that one's going straight. The angled ones go on the bottom. Do the nails on the side, not the front.
Angle from the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me have a little bit of that.
To give this Arcadian style range hood a more European farmhouse feel that I'm going for, we decided to add corbels to it. And again, this is just another reason that I was so grateful to have Archways and Ceilings cut all these pieces for me, because I was able to just pop it together like it's a puzzle, screw the pieces down, and I had ready to go corbels versus trying to make these on my own. So this says toenail or screw. How do you do that?
Toenail just means the angle, but we'll use a screw.
I might need to put this back in a little bit too, super flush.
What's that?
I said I might need to screw these back ones in slightly.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But you screwed into the stud or you screwed into this?
We're gonna do both. We're gonna put a little hole right here.
Yeah, this has, oh, I guess to the back you're saying.
Huh?
Yeah, from the back.
Yeah.
Here you can see how the actual vent was inserted into the frame and then connected with the ductwork and the electrical. I've listed the exact model in the show note. Now that the frame is assembled and the vent hood is inserted, we will move on to doing the drywall. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow along for part 2.